Hi, it's Ken Bone, and welcome back to the Bone Zone. As you can see, I've made some serious upgrades to my equipment. Not so much to my wardrobe. I have a microphone now. You can't see it. It's there. Maybe you can hear me better. And I have a really expensive lighting rig. I bought it for $5 at Target. It's a desk lamp. It's shining right in my eyes. I hate it. But now you can see my beautiful mug. You can actually watch my chin wiggle. I don't think you could see that in the dark. But now, in my webcam, I can see it turkey flapping, and I hate it. Thanks for suggesting this, YouTube fan. Today in the Zone, we're going to talk about current events. We're mostly going to focus on the Trump cabinet, but we got a couple other stories to go over also. There was an attack at Ohio State University. A Somali immigrant, a permanent resident, ran his car up onto a curb, hit some people, and then stabbed several others before being shot to death by a police officer. That sucks. My heart goes out to you at the Ohio State University. Stay strong. You guys are the next generation of leadership for this country. Take care of yourselves, and don't be intimidated by this kind of cowardly attack. Big news this week. The Rams lose again. I'm so sorry that I saw them go away from St. Louis. We miss you, Rams. Come back. We want to be the city with the losingest ever coach in NFL history. Why couldn't it be us? Why, God? Alright, now I'm going to cost myself half of my subscriber base by talking about politics. Yay, politics. Thought it was over after the election? You were wrong. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Trump's cabinet appointees. First up, we have Wilbur Ross, Trump's nominee for Secretary of Commerce. Now, Wilbur Ross, as you would expect for a guy who's going to be Secretary of Commerce, is a rich old white dude. This guy hates NAFTA. He hates the Trans-Pacific Partnership. He wants to negotiate better trade agreements. Is that going to screw us in the end? I don't know. I'm willing to give him a shot. He has no big controversies. He's kind of not objectionable. Probably a good move by Trump to pick somebody with no giant downside. So I'll give this one a thumbs up. Alright, President-elect Trump has also tapped... inappropriate. President-elect Trump has also put forth Betsy DeVos as Secretary of Education. Betsy DeVos is another billionaire. Lots of billionaires here. She helped reform Detroit charter schools, which sounds awesome. Hey, she helped reform schools. They're better now, right? No, they suck. She reformed the school system, and now it's way worse. So that's a big thumbs down. Next up, we have Nikki Haley. She's going to be our ambassador to the United Nations. Nikki Haley is the daughter of immigrants. She's the governor of South Carolina, or was. And while she was the governor of South Carolina, she helped have the Confederate battle flag taken down from the courthouse. So I'm going to give her a thumbs up. And it looks like he's going to pick Dr. Ben Carson to run the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Why? I don't know. Dr. Carson didn't think he could run the Department of Health and Human Services because he wasn't experienced enough, despite being a doctor for decades. I don't know what made any of them think that he could run housing and urban development. He has no experience in that area. Oh my God, he's so boring, but maybe that's a good thing. Kind of non-controversial. I don't know. Maybe this is a wait and see. For director of the CIA, we're probably going to have Mike Pompeo. He's made some iffy statements about Muslims that seem to kind of come out of nowhere. He has been a respected congressman, and he was first in his class at West Point. So maybe he'll be good, or maybe he'll start ripping people's fingernails out and have us all spied on. Maybe this is a wait and see, but I've got some serious misgivings here. For Attorney General, it looks like we're going to have Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions is a big name in politics. He's been accused many times of being racist. There are a lot of second-hand accounts of him saying just deplorable racist stuff. But nobody's ever got him on record saying anything like that I could find. He's generally liked by both sides, so we'll have to see how he works out. This is another one where I refuse to give my up or down vote. I think generally probably okay, but we'll see. For National Security Advisor, we're going to have probably Michael Flynn. Now, he's a registered Democrat, which seems like a big reach across the aisle, but he's made some pretty crazy statements He says that Sharia law is spreading across the United States. It's obviously not. And he tweets too friggin' much. I mean, Mr. President-elect, you tweet too much. It's okay for goofballs like me to get on Twitter and say whatever we want, but from our senior leadership, maybe a little more decorum. I'm going to give this guy a thumbs down. Here's a really good controversial one. Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. A lot of people hate Reince Priebus. He was the chairman of the Republican National Committee. He's been accused of being a political insider. He hasn't actually been in politics that long. He was the chair of his state Republican committee for several years before moving up to the national level. Maybe he'll be okay. I know that he's got that political insider vibe, but President-elect Trump has no real political experience and probably needs a guy like that. And as long as he can keep his nose clean and not say anything patently stupid, I'll go ahead and give him my approval for now. Alright, next we have the one that everybody hates, including me. I don't like him that much either. Steve Bannon, the chief strategist. Maybe he's a racist. I don't know. I don't know what's in anybody's heart. But he's definitely a crappy journalist. He ran Breitbart for a while. And the original Breitbart organization and its leadership would probably be very sad by what he turned it into. I know that there needs to be conservative news sources out there to balance out the liberal ones. But Breitbart is not a great fact source. I'm sorry if that offends anyone out there. It just isn't. It's not any more than the Huffington Post is on the left side. So there goes about 5,000 subscribers. Thanks for being here up until now. As of the recording of this, we haven't got a final suggestion for Secretary of the Interior. The Secretary of the Interior takes care of the Department of Natural Resources and watches over our land and water and makes sure that they're well taken care of. The front runners right now are a bunch of oil and grease company executives and Sarah Palin. I don't care which one you picked. That's a thumbs down. For Secretary of Agriculture, we've got Sam Brownback, the former governor of Kansas. Well, who could possibly be a better Secretary of Agriculture than a dude from Kansas? He knows everything about corn, right? Well, he doesn't know everything about being a good governor. He seems to have kind of sucked at his job. And the Kansas economy is really in the tank, and their school systems suffered a lot under him. I know he won't be taking care of schools and he won't be taking care of the economy, but he hasn't shown a lot of leadership quality. Thumbs down. For the Secretary of Labor, we've got one of my favorites so far, Victoria Lipnick. She's actually an Obama appointee. She's been running the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which is great. That's a nice reach across the aisle. No big controversies around her. She's got experience in the Department of Labor. She's been a good leader. So it's a very even-handed choice. Good move, Mr. President-elect. And good luck, future Secretary Lipnick. I think you're going to do a great job. Thumbs up. Now we got one of the big ones. Secretary of Defense James Mad Dog Mattis. He has the same nickname as the bad guy from Back to the Future 3. He's actually pretty great. General Mattis is a retired Marine Corps general. He's led Marines in battle. He cares a lot about his country and about his Marines. And just in case you think he's too much of a hardliner because of some of his really, really tough quotes, try to keep in mind that he helped write the rules of engagement that do their best to keep civilians safe in Iraq. And this is an actual quote from General Mattis here. If in order to kill the enemy, you have to kill an innocent, don't take the shot. Don't create more enemies than you take out by some immoral act. So obviously, General Mattis is somebody who cares deeply about the morality of America. He is looking to protect our country as long as it doesn't take away from what makes this country great. And I think that's just what we need in a very dangerous time against a complex enemy. I wish him all the best because I think he's got the toughest job in the whole cabinet. Then we have for the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Tom Price, former orthopedic surgeon and 6-term congressman. He hates the Affordable Care Act. He's been one of the leading Republican voices against Obamacare from the get-go. But unlike a lot of the others, he actually has a pretty well thought out plan to replace it. I'm going to withhold my judgment on this guy. He has some good ideas, including tax credits to buy your own insurance, rather than letting the insurance companies run the marketplace. I just don't want to see anybody lose their insurance. And I don't think that Congressman Price does either. So we'll have to see. Alright, I know this was a way shorter video than some of the other ones I did, but 20 minutes was way too much. I don't want to have to subject you guys to 20 minutes of me at a time. I don't even like to do that to my wife and kid. If you like this video, great. Subscribe if you already haven't. Next week's video is going to be about clickbait and how do we win the war against it. So for now, this is Ken Bone, the Red Sweater Guy, and I approve this message.